Hey, welcome to Mission Log Engage, a Roddenberry Star Trek podcast, or, well, it's podcast adjacent. I'm John Champion.
And I'm Norman Lau. Each week on the main Mission Log podcast, we mention in our contact segment that we, quote unquote, may use your comments in an upcoming episode of Mission Log.
We've been saying that for a very long time. that is part of the baked-in script of Mission Log. And here, finally, on Mission Log Engage, we have created this short show to do exactly that, to engage with you, our thoughtful and dynamic audience, by responding to your comments, your critiques, your messages, suggestions, not only from the emails and call-ins, but also comments from across all social media platforms.
Now, the special thing about Mission Log Engage is that we're producing the show specifically for the YouTube audience so that you can actually watch us in our unedited, unexpurgated discussion about what you, the members of Mission Log and the listening and participating community, have submitted as the audience.
That means that we could swear.
I don't think so. The algorithm will flag us.
Yeah. We probably won't. But no, that's a great point. Is that this is meant to be casual. It's meant to be informal. It's just our reactions to some of the emails that we get. And what better way to do this in its own show? Because look, the main Mission Log, it is planned a long time ahead, and then sometimes it feels like those messages may not fit when we get to the next episode if we're 2 or 3 weeks ahead. Mm-hmm. So you can find us at youtube.com/RoddenberryProd. Just look for the Mission Log Engage playlist. And I think what we're going to be doing is we'll record a bunch and we'll release them kind of throughout the week, throughout the months, and check it out. Hopefully you get an alert, make the little tap the bell with the thingy. So you,
we have to do that. Please share, and subscribe.
And share. Right. Oh, we debase ourselves so much. But without further ado, let us jump into the comment that we'll do on this, our inaugural show, and then check back to catch the others. And like I said, those will be through the week. So Norman, I leave it to you. We're going to read a podcast review. This is a thing I avoid all the time, from Apple Podcasts. Do you want to read it? Do you want me to read it? Tell me.
I'll jump in here with both warp nacelles blazing. Let's do it.
Okay, this is from Douglas, Apple Podcast review.
So the header says, "Stick with it. The mission has a purpose!" Exclamation point. Been listening since it was Ken and John, still loving it with Norm and John. I started listening to this podcast right when the team got started with Deep Space Nine. I'm a Niner fanatic, so I'm already super defensive and protective of, quote unquote, my precious. It's okay if DS9 isn't your favorite Trek. It's just hard for me to accept, that's all. As such, I was skeptical at first, but I have grown to accept the divergences of opinion and enjoy the concurring analysis as it comes. Episode 337, covering The Visitor, Norm's emotional coverage of this episode had me crying, as does this episode every single time, worth experiencing for yourself without further description. Episode 404, covering In the Pale Moonlight, I disagree with their coverage in that I really enjoyed this episode and they did not. I don't always think of being compromised as something that can be avoided, but it is interesting to see what a person or organization might be able to do in spite of this. Mission Log's critique is valid here, even if I disagreed with it. Episode 398, covering Far Beyond the Stars, another fan favorite episode. Mission Log does not disappoint with a beautiful review of an intricate and wonderful piece of science fiction. Norm really hit it with the morals, meanings, and messages. Perfect episode of DS9 and the Mission Log podcast. No matter how I feel at this point, I am in it to win it with Mission Log. I am listening to all of the backlog episodes and will be in tandem in a year or so. Don't sleep on this show, even if your favorite episodes get dissed. That's life. Moreover, this is an excellent podcast for Trekkies to spend time looking at every single episodic iteration of Trek, if that's your thing. This has increased my appreciation of my own fandom, as well as broadened my perspectives on parts I do not often consider. It's like listening to two old friends at this point, and Mission Log is always welcome on my podcast rotations.
Awesome. Douglas, thank you. And look, a word of explanation, because this is the very first Engage. That is sort of the platonic ideal of the type of response we hope to get,
Mhm.
right? Because and look, we definitely we get the negative comments, we get the positive comments, we get the ones that are just to use a word, engaging about an idea or a topic.
Oh, John.
I know, right? But this is one where we sort of wanted to set the stage here for what we're doing, and we will get to negative things, we'll get to all sorts of comments, but this one I really appreciate because Douglas gets it 100%. That the plan for a mission log from the beginning was to explore ideas, critique, criticize, praise where it is needed and deserved, and enjoy all that Star Trek has to offer. And it's all about the ideas, whether you agree or disagree. I've always said mission log is not a competition. It's not like a race to figure out who's correct.
It's not a zero-sum game.
No, exactly. This is all about the exploration of the idea. And it warms my cold, dead heart that, Douglas, you said that even when you disagree, you appreciate what we're doing. And that's what it's all about.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I think that you and I both looked at this particular review on Apple Podcasts, and not every single review on Apple Podcasts has been in our favor. They are they are very polarizing opinions, and that's fine. We want to hear polarizing opinions because not every single review of ours on Mission Log is going to be correct for everybody. It's correct for John sometimes, it's correct for me sometimes. But the issue is, and the thing that we have to focus on is that we are doing our due diligence in terms of being honest with our review. And that essentially is going to connect with people or not.
Yeah. Yeah. And, we realize full well that just by putting ourselves out there and talking about a show that is deeply beloved by fans everywhere, look, we wouldn't be doing this if we didn't like Star Trek. That's kind of, baseline understanding of why you and I are here. But we're going to rankle some feathers every now and then because it's the old mission log rule. Everybody's, or I should say, every episode is somebody's favorite and simultaneously somebody's least favorite. And you could extrapolate that to a whole series as well. And it just so happens that we're in one right now, DS9, that is polarizing, hence the comments.
So technically, every episode is a Schrodinger's episode. Until it's watched, it's everyone's favorite or least favorite episode.
Exactly. That is exactly it. Well said.